Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on the brand new Gold Mythic Paul Monroe, aka Jesus, who is a part of the Walking Dead's Telltale Season 3. So he's just the same character, except they don't really call him Jesus. I mean, they do, but he's mostly known as Paul Monroe throughout Season 3. So that's the way to differentiate him from the show and the comic to the Telltale season, is they don't really call him Jesus a lot. I can't remember, but same character, just he's using his real legal name in this case. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you want to share this video, great. That would be great. And if you do any of those 4 things, that would be very much appreciated by me. And I'm doing pretty good, and I'm staying safe out there. And yes, summer, we're getting closer. Summer's getting ready to end. I mean, we're getting closer. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but I'm looking forward to this summer finally ending. It's been brutally hot. It absolutely, bring on the fall. Yes, please. I'm ready for it. So done with summer. But anyway, enough of me just babbling on. Let's go ahead and get into this character review, shall we? Paul Monroe, Telltale. His trait is strong. His role is a support toon. And his allegiance is a part of the Telltale, obviously. Let's take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 37,390. His defensive stat is 18,695. And his HP stat is also 37,390. Let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. The right thing. The recharge rate is 55 AP, so that's a little bit faster than most gold mythics. And I'm trying to think, they named his adrenaline rush the right thing for a reason. I don't know if that's the name of an episode of Season 3, or if that's something that he says. I would have to play it again, but it's either it's a name of an episode or it's something that Paul Monroe specifically says. It's going to be one of the two. Anyway, taunt a line of enemies for 2 turns. Remove focus from that line of enemies. Deal 1,000% damage plus 250% for each other Telltale Allegiance teammate to the primary target. So nice. Okay, so he's taunting a line of enemies for 2 turns. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. It depending on who's on that line, you know, you can buy yourself some time with taunt, which, hey, that's always a good thing. Depending on who's on that line that you target, that they'll be taunted for 2 turns. That'll be really good. Plus, they're going to be removing focus from that line of enemies if they have focus, which, yeah, there are toons that dish out focus for sure. Especially if, like, Eva and Ghost are on that line, that focus is gone. Man, that's gonna be annoying. Did they design this toon knowing that I would hate this toon? I don't know. You know what? There is something else in his kit that I'm thinking, yeah, they definitely did they definitely made this tune the way they did for me to, like, okay, they obviously hate Buckbeak. You'll see as we get into it. But anyway, taunting the line of enemies is pretty good. Removing focus is pretty good, but obviously they know I like Eva and Ghost, so they decided to say, hey, to hell with Buckbeak, we're going to create this tune anyway. We're going to, great. But it is good, though, to remove focus. Plus, he is dealing 1,000% damage, plus another, plus 250% for each other Telltale Allegiance teammate. So, obviously, you are gonna, to get the most amount of damage, you are gonna want to build him mostly around Telltale Allegiance teammates, and there are some pretty solid ones. Like, you have New Frontier Clem, you have, let's see, Molly, Kenny, Lily. So you got some options. Those are just a couple that I'm thinking of. You got some options. Uh-oh, here comes Coco. Hey, Coco, you come to join us? Okay, anyway. Okay, back to saying what I was saying. Yeah, so you got some great options for the Attack and Telltale tunes. You got New Frontier Clem, Molly, Lily, now Paul Monroe, which he is a support tune, but he's also doing damage, which that's not a bad thing at all. So overall, his Adrenaline Rush does seem like it's pretty decent. He's taunting enemies, removing focus, and he's potentially, doing way over, he's doing a lot of damage, right? So you can't ask for nothing more. Well, I mean, he could be, we'll see. He could be pretty good on paper. On paper, he seems pretty decent, but there is one part about him that annoys the hell out of me, which we will get to. But overall, a pretty good Adrenaline Rush for the most part. Now, let's take a look at his signature move. No shortcuts. Again, I believe that's something that he says. I'm pretty sure, but I would have to replay Season 3. The initial cooldown, excuse me, the initial cooldown is turn 1. 1 turn for the cooldown, number of uses, unlimited. This fighter gets Guardian Shield, taunt a line of enemies for 1 turn, plus 1 duration while battling on the offensive team. Deal 25% of this fighter's max HP as damage to the primary target. Okay, so he's going to be getting Guardian Shield for himself only. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of the only negative about that. I wish he would, the only thing I would have done different about that, I would have at least given Guardian Shield out to 2 or 3 of my teammates at least. That's how I would have done it to make it a little bit better, but okay, whatever. I guess it might be fine. I don't know. Plus, he's going to be taunting a line of enemies for 1 turn, which, like it says, the cooldown is for 1 turn. That means that you will be able to use this not Adrenaline Rush, but you will be able to use the signature move pretty much every turn unless he's dazed. Although, you know what? No, you know what? We'll get to it. I think he... Okay. Yeah, okay, so him getting Guardian Shield and then taunting a line of enemies for 1 turn. Plus, he's going to be dealing 25% of his max HP as damage, which he has, without leveling him up, adding mods, putting a weapon in his hands. He has the same amount of HP as he does attack at the start, so, that's going to be a pretty good amount of damage, honestly. Overall, I mean, the only thing I would do different about this signature move is give Guardian Shields to at least 2 or 3 people instead of just hogging the Guardian Shields all for himself. But, I don't know, it might be fine. I don't know. We'll see. Let's take a look at his Mythic abilities. cunning. When attacking or being attacked, 30% less likely to trigger enemy weapon effects and walker effects. Not really going to go into this all too much. You should be leveling up cunning anyway, as you should be doing that with all of your support tunes, so there you go. Second chances. When performing the defend action, this fighter and one other Telltale Allegiance teammate gets 50% AP. When performing the defend action, 100% chance to taunt a random enemy for 3 turns. Oh man. So he's got a lot of taunt going around in his kit, which I mean I don't have a problem with that. I think that is actually a really good thing about his kit. And plus it'd be kind of annoying, but not as annoying as what's about to come up. As I can see it in my peripheral vision. But anyway, we'll get to it. So, when he's performing the defend action, which he has that one specialist skill that I believe he's only the second tune that has it, but whenever you're performing the defend action, you know, like it says, Paul Monroe plus one other Allegiance teammate will get 50% AP. So they clearly want you to build him around a Telltale attacking team. That way, not only him, but one other teammate will get 50% AP, possibly full AP, depending on how much AP the fighters have beforehand. Plus, if you defend in the action, there's a 100% chance that a random enemy is going to get taunted for 3 turns. So it's almost kind of like, why would you want to use the adrenaline rush? Because every time you use the defend action, you're going to be taunting an enemy for 3 turns. Like that's kind of crazy, right? It almost is like, why are you going to use the adrenaline rush? But you do need to do damage, so that's something to also think about. Yeah, and I'm sorry if y'all hear that next to me. That, like I said, Coco did come in here during this, unfortunately, but it's okay. We'll bear with it. Now, if she starts barking, I'll stop. Then I'll resume. But I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But anyway, let's continue. Okay, so second chances is going to be that's going to be pretty good, and it's going to make you question whether or not do you even want to rush when you can taunt other enemies and you have the other Telltale attacking tunes do the damage for Paul Monroe. It's kind of an interesting question. It really is. Now, we have this one. Deus Volt. I don't know. I doubt I'm saying that right, but whatever. 100% normalized resistance, 100% stun resistance, and 100% taunt resistance. Here you go. That's the part I was referring to. Like, okay, yeah, they designed this tune specifically to make Beak mad. Absolutely. Because y'all know that I love using Eva and Ghost, and clearly Scopely knows this. They're watching. They might not say nothing, but they're watching. Because, like, come on. What does Eva and Ghost do? Or Betsy and Raw? Or Betsy Ross? What do? They normalize. And great. So this mofo can't be normalized at all. Great. Awesome. I mean, it is good for him that he can't be normalized, but I mean, he's not like the be-all, end-all of, like, tunes that, like, if you can't normalize them, you're screwed. No, I still think you can take him out, but it is going to be, it is going to be very frustrating where you can't normalize or stun him. You can impair him, and you can daze him. Like, how they would have been able to make him more annoying, I would have added, you can't impair him, and you can't daze him along with the other 3. But to Scopely, that would have been like, whoa, that's too powerful. But that's how you would have been able to make him more annoying. you could have added 100% impair resistance and 100% daze resistance. Then you would be able to get more money that way. I mean, I'm just saying. But man, yeah, this is going to drive me nuts. But not being able to normalize him, yeah, I'm not a fan of that myself. But I'm saying it, I'm not saying it's pretty good, even though it's driving me up a damn wall. Obviously, they're doing it to get a reaction out of me, to screw them. It is really good, although it is annoying. So I would definitely level him, level up that one too, so he can't get stunned or normalized or taunted. So, a real charmer, when being attacked, 100% chance to apply 50 minus 50% defense to the attacker for 2 turns. I mean, this one it's not too bad, but like the other ones so far are like, I feel like they're definitely far more important. Like, I feel like if you were to never upgrade a real charmer, or if you were to level it up or upgrade it late, I feel like you could get away with never even having to touch a real charmer, because I feel like the normalized stun and taunt resistance, and then him being able to get AP gain and taunting enemies from the defend action of his specialist skill are like far more important than having the having the negative defense on the attacker. I mean, that I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't feel like it's like the most important one to level up. So, real charmer, I would say whenever you can get to it, I would level it up, but I don't feel like it's like very important above Deus, Volt, and a second chances. Those two I think are a lot more important for this character personally, but nothing too bad I think so far. So let's see, let's take a look at his specialist skill, Energize. When this fighter performs the defend action at the start of the next turn, all teammates gain 50% of their max AP. An Energized Specialist can only use it once per turn. So, I believe Paul Monroe is the second toon in RTS to have this specialist skill. Dr. Stevens, I believe, is the first one to have this specialist skill. I can't talk. So yeah, so it's kind of like a command without being a command, because you won't get 50% of the AP immediately. You will get it the next turn, which other positive things will happen if you use the specialist skill, like, potentially him and another Telltale teammate are going to get full HP immediately. Not HP, but full AP immediately by him using the defend action, plus a random enemy is going to get taunted for 3 turns. So those are going to be, those are going to be positives using the specialist skill. And it's going to make you question whether or not, do I really need to rush with this guy? But, you could have the other Telltale attacking toons do the damage for him. So, he could be kind of an interesting one, potentially. I'm curious to see how many people are going to pull for him, right? So, yeah, we'll see. And then, I was going to say, let's look at his weapon, but he has a default weapon, so you can pretty much put whatever you want into his hands. And I believe, let's take a look real quick. There is a weapon that they come out with that, well, you gotta pay for. $100, folks. Let's see. Paul Monroe's Robust Sword. 40% attack, 40% HP, improved AP down when hit. When being attacked, 60% chance the attacker gets minus 50 AP. Damage reduction debilitated. When being attacked by an enemy with a debilitating status effect, reduce damage taken by 50%. Okay, so see, I don't think this is a bad weapon, but is it necessarily going to be good on Paul Monroe? I don't know. I don't think it's justifiable to spend $100 on this weapon. No. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I'm not saying it's... There's been worse weapons, but, like... I don't know. It's kind of like... Why put attack on a weapon like this? I don't know. I personally... I'm sure you all have something way better than this that you can put into his hands that would work just as fine. I don't know. How many people are worried about, how many people are actually worried about making him a defensive character? I mean, I don't know. I don't think many people are. It's kind of obvious they want you to, him to be an attacking toon, but being a support toon. I don't think that weapon is worth $100. No. I'm sure heck, you can even craft something I think that would be just better. Heck, you can get something that can be better, or maybe you already have something that is better than that $100 weapon. I can almost guarantee you somebody's got something that's better than willing to spend $100 on that weapon. It's not worth it. No. There's been a couple of weapons I'd be like, well, I could see why if they got the money to do it. I don't think it's worth it in this case. No. You gotta have... There are better alternatives out there for sure for him, I feel like. So, I like his... I like the artwork there on the left. Him riding the horse, possibly riding into, I don't know, to save Richmond? I guess, I don't know. Although that might be before, because I know Richmond ends up getting... I remember it ends up getting overrun by walkers, I'm pretty sure. But he's not wearing that same getup. He's wearing, like, he puts his hair up, and he's wearing, like, this like the armor. So, like, yeah, this might be when he first meets Javier, Clem, Kate, It could be, but this is definitely Telltale Season 3, for sure. And, are you going to be pulling for Gold Mythic Paul Monroe, aka Jesus? Or are you going to be passing on him? Me personally, I'm probably going to pass on him just simply because, I don't know. I don't feel like I need him, but he could be a pretty decent toon. I'm curious how many people are going to pull for Paul Monroe. I haven't seen anybody pull for him just yet, but I haven't really been looking, so we'll see. Maybe people will end up thinking about it and pulling for him. I mean, he could be decent, but he could end up being a disappointment. I don't know, but there is one part where, yeah, that normalized resistance. I'm not a fan of that, but if I had the I don't know. I just feel like, me personally, I don't have a place for him personally, and I wouldn't I could see people using him potentially in the Stellar roadmaps, but other than that, he could maybe have a use outside of Stellar roadmaps, but you're gonna want to surround him with Telltale Allegiance teammates, though. That's the thing. So, but with his specialist skill, he could maybe separate outside of Telltale, potentially. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys for today. Sorry about that. Okay, that's all I got for you guys for today. What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Paul Monroe? Are you going to be pulling for him, or are you going to be passing on him? And if you already have been pulling for him, if you already have him, what are your thoughts on him? Is he as good as he's advertised to be, or is he not as good as he could have been? Feel free to let me know down below in the comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support and for stopping by. And if you like this video, hit that like button and hit the bell, so that way you know that every time I upload to YouTube, make sure to turn that notification bell on. That way you know every time I upload to YouTube. And I am Beak, and I'm going to go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.